Hello to you all. There's a lot going on, and in the best way. It somehow feels like really Mercury retrograde pulled a number, and more I'm realizing it was like a holiday, like a hot air balloon ride. And I got to the point where I just started negotiating with spirit, like, okay, can we get my feet back on the ground now? Because it was like a long extended dream this last month, to the point where it was actually starting to, I won't say interfering, but I mean the mind gets involved. It totally distanced me from my cards. And I went through like a reevaluation of my relationship with my cards. And this has also then interfered with my personal readings, because it's like I don't know what I'm going to get, and I don't know which tool to use, and I don't know whether the new tool is ready for the reading. You know, it's like this whole thing. But how I ended up dealing with it was actually to pause on the personal readings. And now looking back, I'm realizing that was the need to pause, and that nothing is wrong with what I used to do, but that this was some form of ascension. And I am human, and I do live a physical life. And I've seen everything that I've seen. And I now know myself so much better. But I'm feeling like I've really found my feet, and I'm learning to walk again. This does take an open mind, but I'm comfortable where I am. I'm at peace with where it is, and also a different understanding of, again, it is what it is, and a different understanding, really embracing the strategy that I realize I've been running Pyramid Energy on. A lot of people have a strategy of how they run their channel. My strategy has always been God, my heart, God. And so that means I don't know what's coming tomorrow. And it's a beautiful experience. It just challenges the human in me, because I don't like to not honor commitments, and I don't like to push goalposts out. So what I would say is I'm comfortable with receiving a request for a personal reading if the person requesting it is comfortable with the strategy of God, and that means timing. And so I always honor the order of the orders. I always honor the order of the orders, but I cannot predetermine the timing. And it becomes a very uncomfortable experience when I feel pressured to honor timing before I've honored the order of spirit. Because all of this information comes from one place. This morning, I'm also realizing, I know all these things, it's just that my comfort with them changes. And I'm realizing that the layout that I use determines the kind of information that has been ordered. And so yesterday I did share a reading, a card reading, and I'm back here again today. And I'm just actually going to start without explaining too much and let it unfold. But what I'd like to say first is that there's a change in the air. There's a shift. Quite a gentle but major shift. And the reading I'm going to be doing is called Me, Myself, and I. It's a reading that bridges the gap between how you're projecting yourself to the world, yourself being your relationship with you, and the I, which is the higher self's voice, the all-seeing I. Where this overlaps with God, I don't want to overdefine that, but it's essentially what you don't, the part of you that doesn't have, that has a full view of you. Let's put it that way. A full view of you and your experience. And so to bridge this gap, because our intuition often speaks to us, and that's the higher self speaking to us, but we lack the awareness to know for sure that is exactly what is going on. And so I find this reading to be very special. I used to do readings in a very different way months ago, and I found this one to have really bridged the gap for me in terms of where I am and where I'm going, so that I can relax and enjoy the ride. I find it empowering. First of all, I paused just so I could shuffle in peace without making you wait for the shuffling. But I just want to say, when you feel excitement like something's coming, it's real. It's real, because there are a few cards that actually I was connecting with this excitement I'm feeling, and a few cards already popped out that confirm it. It's like you can smell the change, you can smell the karma balancing out, you can feel it, and you don't have the evidence yet. Oh my God, okay. I had it on pause, but I just keep laughing, and the cards keep confirming everything that's rushing through me. And so I'm just going to ask you to be patient. But in your me, I've got the Ace of Wands, which actually really, for me here, it represents the excitement. And that's just becoming your, like, you know, it's got to do with your stability and what's coming into your life. And in your in your sacral chakra, you've got the Knight of Rods, which is Knight of Wands. So there's a lot of change happening in the area of your creativity. It's like it's rushing in, it's happening, okay? It's happening. And then in your solar plexus, you got the Knight of Swords, which is also quick energy. And so then it's like your confidence is like building up very quickly. It's like your lower half, the more denser parts of your being are. Can you hear how quickly I'm talking? I need to like relax a little bit. Wait. Okay. Yo. Okay. I think that's maybe how it feels for you. But I'm going to tell you now, it's a little bit crazy. So what it definitely needs is like a facilitation of the upgrade. So like sitting in silence, stillness, and breathing, breath work. And not much is expected. It's just to rest the mind, so that the body can catch up. And you know, the cards that I've got here, it's like you've totally, you spent some time just totally surrendering, because you were just like, well, I'm defeated, but now look at the results. In your heart, I've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is like a total eclipse of the heart. It's like the heart turning in a completely different direction to what you've become used to. Your heart is more open. That's what's bringing in the change. In your expression, I've got the Sun. And so you're also becoming really like pleased with how you're expressing yourself and the results. Like in terms of your, and again, not physical results, but like your, you can see the shifts. You can see the shifts. And in your third eye, I've got the Knight of Pentacles. And so that is like, I'm seeing a need for that to almost catch up. And I think that's what we're going to do here. Not that slow is bad, But I'm saying that perhaps the feeling of crazy is because you haven't quite caught up with everything that's changed. You love the changes, so happy with the changes, but it's like, now we need to bridge the gap, please, because it's, excitement is not comfortable. It's fun for like a moment, but to stay in a state of excitement is actually quite stressful. And in the crown, I've got the Ten of Swords, which is total, it's like admission of defeat, total. And so it's like also questioning, was I ever in control here? Asking yourself, was I ever in control here? Perhaps I was not, and perhaps the way I used to clutch onto things and ideas and perceptions of myself is what was holding me back the entire time. I'm just shuffling the cards now for myself. So I see it here. You've basically opened the palms of your hand to receive your manifestations from above. You are loving the result of this. You're loving the result of handling things this way. You're finding healing in the. You're finding the healing in the way you're finding healing in the way you're now expressing yourself. And I'm saying this like a comparison, almost review of how you were expressing yourself before, where you were holding yourself back, comparing that to how you're doing it now. You're seeing the vast difference, and that feeling is healing. And you're actually becoming more open to what your heart is feeling. You're becoming more open and receptive to like a new relationship with your heart. Like, I wonder what my heart feels now. Whereas before it used to be running from the heart. It was like running from the heart, only celebrating the good times when they came up. And when the hard times came up, you'd hide. And there's a complete shift, because it's like an embracing of the contrast, and because of that you're able to keep it rolling. You're able to keep it rolling and keep reaping information from your heart as you go. Whether it's dark or light, you're taking it. You're not hiding the parts you don't want to see. You want to see everything, and you want to witness everything and know everything about it. That's the change. And that's the heart, is where we receive information that we then transmute into expression. And so that's also why your expression is being healed. And also, look at that. The Knight of Wands. Okay, so now I'm actually going to have to share a picture of these cards. The Knight of Wands is in your solar plexus. And I did say that there's quick action in your solar plexus. This is your ability to show up, and your relationship with exposing yourself and being out there, not hiding, and not sitting in shame about your opinions and your views and your the wounds that you've carried for a long time. Those are like, you've taken those with you now, and you're like, well, I needed those actually, because I wouldn't actually know a lot of the things that I now know about myself and the way I see the world if all of that had been hunky-dory. And in the sacral chakra here in yourself is the Ace of Wands, which again is the passion and the exploration and it's the passion. It's the passion for something new, and the fire. And the thing is that the reason I need to show you these cards is because the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands are right next to each other here. And in the layout above of your me, where we started, I've got the exact same cards next to each other, except in your base chakra and your sacral chakra. And there's just so much passion here. There's just so much fire. And that explains why, like, that explains all the excitement I was trying to kind of get calm enough to express to you. And so that's exactly why the stillness is going to be needed to catch up with yourself, because there is a lot happening. It's a good thing, but there's a lot happening. And in your base here, I've got the 10 of Wands, which is like, it's like ultimate relief. It's where you put your burdens down. It's where you know you can. It's where you acknowledge what a tough journey it has been. And although you haven't quite gathered all your energy back yet, you know you've arrived. It's like when you're running a marathon. I've never done that, by the way, I'm just saying. When you run a marathon, I can imagine the feeling of being able to see the finish line. Wow. I'm laughing to myself now because I paused to shuffle the eye cards so that I could get them out, and so that I wouldn't be talking too much as I absorb what I see, what I'm seeing. There is a lot that is coming that you cannot see. There is a lot, and I'm realizing now, and I believe more now, as if I didn't before, but I believe more now that the need for stillness is really real. Make peace with sitting in stillness, and have no expectations of that time. Even if you're just lying down in bed and just close your eyes, even if you're not tired, just close your eyes and just become comfortable with the darkness and the quiet. Just become comfortable with it, because actually all that spirit needs is for you to just press pause on your life. If all you can do is 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes, whatever it is, in time, I promise you're going to start loving it. I still have this like cat and mouse relationship with it, but make time for it. And that's why I'm saying I know this cat and mouse thing. So just even the 5 minutes will help. And if you fall asleep, that's also fine. And before I get into this, what I'm seeing here in the eye, yesterday, I was asking myself, so in Johannesburg, we're at the end of winter. And I was asking myself yesterday, when is it going to rain? Because it's actually been hot for a few days. The winter's not been that bad here this year. And I was asking myself, when is it going to rain? And I woke up this morning expecting it to be hot out here. And instead of being hot, it was overcast. And so when I saw what it looks like outside, I went and made my coffee and went straight back to bed. Because I was just like, I'm so grateful that I don't have to wake up and drive to the office and just actually decide to go back into bed. I'm so grateful for that. But then I came outside after it warmed up a little bit, and it hasn't really warmed up, but the clouds are showing rain is coming. And I saw something yesterday. It was this prophet. I think she's in the US, I'm not sure. But she was talking about rain is coming. And I was like, this must be figurative, because I don't think rain is coming here. And I don't know if it's going to rain later, but it's definitely rain clouds, darkish rain clouds. And I feel like what these clouds are saying is that rain is coming, a cleansing. Almost to douse this fire that's been started, this flame that's starting to burn, to calm things down. And so that's what I feel like, and I feel it in my body right now. It's like you need to spend some time in the stillness and just soaking in, rather than sitting and waiting for the results, is to sit in stillness and soak in the change that has already arrived and is just needing to be revealed. And I'm not saying stop everything you're doing. I'm saying sink into this excitement, allow it to just sink into you and find peace in it. Find peace in it. In your base here, I've got the Ace of Swords. And so this is your I, this is your higher self, this is spirit saying that I'm bringing clarity. I'm going to be bringing an stable clarity into your life, and on something you can rely on. That's where I'm bringing clarity into your life. Your creativity, I've got the 5 of Pentacles, which is I'm not showing you yet. I'm not showing you yet what I have for you. I'm showing you the feeling. I'm letting you experience the feeling, but I'm not showing you everything. Because if I show you everything, you're going to rush ahead, and there's some things I need you to do first, and that is to be still. And that is to make peace with not knowing what's happening next, and that is to just be calm and enjoy the excitement, but also get peaceful. This is like, I almost said the quiet before the storm, but maybe that's what it is, but I don't want us to look at storm in a negative sense. This is the peace before the action. And then in your solar plexus, I've got the 9 of Wands, which is to say that they know that you are tired of being strong. They know that. And that's why relief is coming. But every single part of this process was needed. And in your heart, there's the Tower. They're about to shock you with just how much your heart can achieve. And so perhaps you thought your heart was too tired for certain things, and you actually do not know the potential of your heart, is actually what that's telling me. Because your perspective on your heart is about to shift even more. And so this is a lot of information. I feel like I'm just sharing now from the higher self. I feel like I'm sharing a hell of a lot of information. But mostly this is to bring peace to the matter and almost a closure to this huge energy that's entered your life. It's an energy is what I'm going to call it. It's to bring peace to that. Because in the area of your expression, I've got the 8 of Wands, which is the card of expression and fast-moving information, and a lot is about to come through. You are going to be so pleased with it. It's like the mind has been removed from the role it used to play between your heart and your expression. I'm just giving that a moment. I'm going to say it again. Your mind has been removed from its usual role as the go-between between your heart and your expression. So your thought used to interrupt the process of your channeling whatever it is that you do. And your mind has rested, has like been put in its place. And in your third eye, I've got, and this is, your intuition, the source of your information as well. Like I see the third eye as what is able to see ahead. Your heart is able to feel in the now, and also ahead. It all works together. But your third eye is like information on what to do with the information, if that makes sense. And your expression meets in the middle, because that's where it comes out. So it's like feeling meets knowing. And when these two are working well together, and the solar plexus also supports the heart to push through, that's when expression takes place. In that space of your third eye, I've got the 4 of Pentacles. So it's as if there are more secrets to be revealed. So there's a lot that Spirit is actually holding back for now, while you build a relationship with messages that have already been sent to you. So how you receive that information, that something is coming, they want you to become more comfortable with that. And the reason is because our relationship with that is actually like the answer to how we manifest. So we would not learn how to manifest if everything was just put in front of us. We have to learn to deal with the feeling of what it feels like for something to come in. And then, so witness that, and then witness ourselves sort of sitting in that and creation mode, allowing for creation mode, witnessing that, and then witnessing it coming to life. You have to see the whole journey to know that you know how to do it. And in the crown, I've got the Fool, which is totally new beginnings with your relationship with. This is your relationship with manifestation. This is your relationship with God. This is your relationship with your own spirit. So this is totally like, we're learning a new way of believing. I'm looking forward to showing you the spread. I'm just going to keep it, when I edit this video, I'm going to keep it all in your view as it was revealed to me. But I'm also going to add now from this deck, it's called Angels and Ancestors Oracle Cards, a card for each one of these lines, me, myself, and I. Okay, in your me, I've got a moon. It says, take note of intuitive messages. And so this is you becoming more comfortable with your intuition. I don't think more needs to be said about that. Take note of it though. Take note, because thoughts are fleeting. And what you note about your intuition is important, so that when you go back to your notes, you can remember exactly where you've been with your intuition and how far you've come. So just take note of what you are noticing about yourself, about your the way you're doing things. Check in with your intuition, take notes. In yourself, I've got the High Priest, intend and create. And what this card is telling me is, with your intuition, because that's what the High Priest would use, his intuition. With your intuition, in becoming comfortable with your intuitive messages, intend and create is telling me, start. Don't wait for all of the information. Especially with this reading, some of the information is being held back because your manifestation tools are being refined. So start and allow the other stuff to be revealed. I think I said that earlier in this recording, that God is my strategy when it comes to my content. And so as soon as I start overthinking what I'm going to do tomorrow or the next day, or what I'll be doing in 3 months, I'm completely stifled. And that's what they want you to do. And you'll see the picture of this. He's holding I don't know what this thing is in front of him, but I believe it's like some kind of a wand. But he's holding the wand ahead of him. So he's letting the wand be ahead of him. So he puts the wand out, and the wand reveals the next step. And so don't be afraid to take steps because you can't see next. This is a good thing that you've got enough to work with right now. And then in your eye, I've got She-Wolf. Unleash the wild within. As if we didn't have enough fire. This wolf head, I don't know if it's the skin of the wolf's head or what. She's wearing it on her head as she faces her head up to the moon. And her face is painted with something red, I don't know. But it's like she's just allowing the expression to come through her. And again, this is where you've bridged the gap between your higher self and you. So allow it to come out and unleash. So that's make room for your mind to stay out of this process. Where you need your mind is to create containers, is to create and make space for this to happen. But once you're in there, totally unleash, because there's a whole flow of information that's going to be coming through. You'll figure out how to facilitate this, but that's what it is. I'm saying the passage has been opened. The passage has been opened, and so allow for it. Allow for it and nurture that stillness so that you can get into your flow. But you're ready to make this stuff. And the last thing I wanted to share was that as I was getting on with my morning, I remembered that I had a vision of an owl last night. And there was no other event but the owl. And this owl, what was different about it was that it was illuminated. So it was like a white owl, and it was glowing, but it was most certainly an owl. And I've looked online to figure out what a Google spiritual meaning of glowing owl, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So I've had to kind of connect with what this message is. And given that an owl represents wisdom, what is the owl is the one who can see at night, to see through the darkness, all directions of what the darkness has to offer. This is what brings wisdom to the owl. It being illuminated, it being like glowing and drawing your attention to it is, look at me, look at you, look at you. You are now able to see the owl in you. I'm making the owl in you visible. So this is not necessarily to say visible to others, but most importantly visible to you. To make your wisdom visible to you, to make your intuition visible to you, to illuminate it in your life. It also has such a commanding presence, this owl that I saw. An owl already has a commanding presence, but this illuminated owl was like, there are all owls, but I want you to see me now. I want you to see us and what we're capable of. And so I'll leave you with that, because I didn't say it in the beginning. I just knew it was part of this reading. It was part of this information that I was delivering. And I am sending you love in light and in darkness, is what I want to say. Chat soon.